Hello and welcome back. Again, I say welcome back. This is part 3 of 3. If you've not seen part 1 or part 2, pause the video, go watch part 1, then watch part 2. It'll make a lot more sense about what I'm about to talk about in part 3. Just a recap, this is part 3 of 3-part video from level 1 to 45 in Rogue Tower. Part 3 being level 30 to 45. The most difficult part, obviously, as you would imagine. The longest part. They've got some long lanes and some very painful things which are going to be rocking up to hurt us. We've got through each wave pretty comfortably so far. Nothing's really threatened us. We start with Ballista Flames, 1 to 15. From 15 to 30, we chuck down a poison. Excuse me. The particle towers and the obelisks. I've been having some Pepsi. And we're going to keep an eye on the mana, pretty much. It is that simple. One thing I did forget to mention, which is a bit of common sense. I'm not that bothered by the poison sprayers and the flamers, but when you put down the particle cannons, for example, these guys are your bread and butter for shield damage. So these guys should prioritize most shield. That is important. I've not actually set any prioritization for anything else here, but for those I will, and for the obelisk, which does a lot of armor damage, we are going to have you target the most armor. That's it. Nothing else needs to worry too much, to be completely honest. But for those, we don't want your particle cannon hitting some really fast running bat, because it's at the front when there's a guy with huge amounts of shield. Come on now, that's a waste. That's a waster. 12, 13 mana. It's gone up. There we go. Cool. We'll have a quick recap and look around. We've spaced these lanes out. This is ground 0. Again, I'm recapping, so apology, but ground 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every time a unit hits ground 0, our kill zone, whatever we want to call it, we're only ideally getting mobs from one lane. We don't want 5 lanes hitting here at the same time. We'll lose. We space them out. And I think as we counted last time, we ended up having 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's actually not so bad. My maths is just wrong. So these are separated. We probably want to expand this just so it's a bit more of a gap. But it's the same over here, so I'll expand these instead. If each time you expand, you have a chance of creating another little split, which is always an issue. We have a lot of gold though right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to start, because we're going to expand out here, and this is going to be our longest route, we're going to get some flamers in up here. And the reason for this really is, it's around this time when units that regen rock up. So things where if you deal damage to their shields or their armor, if they're not getting hit by anything, it'll just start kind of coming back. They'll gain their health back, their armor back, their shields back. So you need to almost always be doing damage to them. Keep them on fire, keep them poisoned, keep them bleeding the entire way. And they're really going to be coming from the longest route. That's where the big bads come from. So that's what we'll focus on. Excuse me. God. Outside of that, we're in good stead. We keep buying ballistas because they're great. If we see a house, we swamp it with ballistas because it's great money in it. We've not got any universities yet. We may do. We don't. I personally don't think you need them. They can be great to get additional crit damage, and crits are invaluable, but they can also be a money sink, and there's always a percentage chance you get nothing from them, which is a massive waste of money, obviously. So what we're going to do though is we're going to expand out, and we're going to get a quick kind of recap, see everything going through, and build a buttload more towers, because that's what you do in the game. Let's expand you out. Keep an eye on the mana when it gets close to the obelisk, and watch it sink down when it happens. Just want to make sure everything's dead before the next wave hits, which it's going to be. The obelisk really takes the mana away, doesn't it? Going to keep an eye up here. We're going to really get some poison sprayers and some... Together we're going to have a poison tower, poison spray and a flame tower dotted throughout, just to really make sure they're doing damage. It's a bit of a shame putting them all the way up here, because things up here are not going to help things coming from here, over here, up here. But this is the longest route, so we'll get those in early. And just keep an eye down here. We get a couple of these tough, I think they're robots. I kind of see them as weird QB ogres with clubs. Possibly robots. Kind of the weird shield version of Cthulhu, which also rocks up pretty soon. Out of nowhere Cthulhu. Surprise Cthulhu. You just don't see, I'm pretty sure they don't call it Cthulhu either. I don't know if they're worried about getting sued by whatchamacallem, but yeah, it's fine. They call them what they want. We know what it is. And we've absolutely obliterated it. Consider this ground zero. Nothing's come really close to getting past it, which is good. And we got our first choice of level 30 to 45. It's around here, like I said. We need to kind of really focus on getting a lot more long-range particle cannons. Ideally 5 probably down. Maybe a couple of obelisks, but just have kind of spread out damage over time. So the entire paths that they're taking, they're on fire and poisoned and bleeding. We'll get some shredders down too. We could get a university. I don't think I'm going to be completely honest. No, I think you've got to rely too much on a little bit of luck, or you can sink a load of money into it. And if we're sinking money in things, I'd rather sink them into more towers, to be completely honest. Frostbolts are great. Sorcery is also pretty great at this stage. Haunted House, crap. Mortars, I quite like mortars, but we've got to level 31 without buying a single mortar, so I'm not going to change that now. Fumes is good. Shield, poison sprayers, dealing damage to shields, that's what they're there for, so that is a good one. However, additional slow is great. We'll have a load of ballistas dotted around the entire map, and a lot obviously in this kill zone. So having them slow things down is pretty glorious. And what we've done here is we've noticed we've actually not put one up on the fort, that's what it's called. So I'm going to chuck something up on the fort as well. I'm going to chuck another poison sprayer up there. Why not? Yeah. And then you know what? If I put a particle cannon up here, what's his range? Other than bloody massive. Pretty good range. It doesn't cover down here. And you know what? I do want it to cover down there. Having said that, it has got some good base damage. This is level 5 and its base damage is 55. This is level 1 and its base damage is 55. Which is why it's useful. That's why it's good, because these kind of multipliers, that does a lot of damage. You know, I'm going to keep him there as well. And I'm going to get him to cover most shield. Obviously. Have a quick recap around. We've got a little bit of gold. We could buy another flamer or a poison sprayer. Or a shredder. Let's get one more shredder. Because nothing over here is currently bleeding. Let's put you there. Let's not get another shredder because we have no gold. Oh, we won't get another shredder. I didn't want one anyway. Never wanted one. Don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to expand you out. To really again gap these out. By the time these guys reach kind of ground zero, every other wave is already dead. Keep an eye down here though, just in case. We watch our mana sink away. Oh, look at it go. How depressing is that? And you know what? It's hitting a point. We're going to have a quick scout round for any additional... Here we go. Mana tiles we got. We take them. Yep. And we're out of mana. Which is why we were very tempted by the sorcery. We're okay for now because we can get some more mana banks. I don't like these. They're expensive. But mana is key. And like I said before, in every other part of this, if you haven't got any mana, it means you have towers that are not firing. And if you're not firing towers, they're completely worthless. Why would you build more towers when you're just going to compound the issue that they're not firing? Get mana under control. By the end of the game, we're probably going to get it near to 100 a second. 80 maybe. But 40 will not take us through the entire game. And that's pretty much every run, no matter what. Even if you don't have an obscene obelisk obliterating everything, you're going to need a lot more mana. And as you can see, this is what we want to see. We want to see things always on fire. And ideally always poisoned as well. So we may need to bridge that gap. And even up here as well. Fires and missiles, like I care. Maybe. Never. It's awful. Radar, no. Flaming bolts 1, yes, I think that may be it. This is also very good. Haunted House crap. This is good because it's going to drastically increase the damage. But because we get this, it's going to really help. Like I just said, we want to have things always on fire or always poisoned or always bleeding. We kind of really covered this. There's a lot going on down here and that will continue to add to that. But now, for these really long runs, we're going to get to the stage where things can start healing back up. If you deal damage from poison, takes half their shield away. When they are no longer poisoned, they regain their shield. And that sucks. That's how you can really kind of lose in this. For this case, it's banding, so armor. But if we have all of your ballistas, which you're going to dot all around the place, dealing additional burn damage. And that will make sure that they're always on fire. And voila. And with that, we'll dot around a couple of ballistas. Nothing crazy. I say that as I'll probably spend all my money dotting around ballistas. But this will be setting things on fire. And these guys will just continue that fire. Because fire. I think we are good. Let's just keep an eye down here. Again, this is a long way and a lot of things to get past. So we just want to be sure that nothing can run right through. It probably can't, let's be honest. We are in a fantastic place. But I'm going to get a couple more for fun. Right there. One more. Down here. If we put them here, because of the great range increases we've got, covers up here and here. Huge. Lovely. It's what we want. And then we're going to, again, if we treat this as new ground 0, that's a 0, that's a 1, and that's a that's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to probably expand the 1 to a 2, so you have a 0, a 2, and a 4. Keep them spaced out. And then we quickly run back and have a look. We keep an eye on our mana and watch how bad it's going to go. Because if it goes too bad, we're going to get some more mana banks. And you know what? We're going to get another particle cannon. God damn it, why not? Any +2s? There's a +3. It's a good spot. This whole area is just, yeah. And you actually will target most shield. Particle cannons target the shields, that's it. This guy target the armor, those guys target the shields. And as soon as this guy starts firing, we lose all of our mana. We quickly check out, we expanded there, we didn't get anything. No more mana spots, that's a shame. When he's not firing, we are regaining our mana quite fast. Which we should see. We're actually not. It is going up, but it's not going up that fast. So mana banks it is. Little bank row down here, where all the posh kids live. Wonderful, 52. It's not that high. We're going to wait now for the end of the round and see if we get another sorcery card. Later on, because we've got these banks, you'll notice our max capacity is much higher, which means that when we get the increase in percentage, that will have so much more of an impact. We didn't get it. Rats, but that's okay. Tower lookout, crap. Hardened blades, not great. Nitric acid is good. Oh, yes, we did get it. I missed it. Lifesteal is pretty interesting. I don't want to rely on killing things to get mana, because we get to a stage where we don't have enough mana to kill the things. It's a pain. Enchanted bolts is quite good. Shields are going to really become an issue. Armor's an issue, obviously, throughout the entire game, but shields ramp up. Shields become increasingly worse, which is why we want more particle cannons. Sorcery, though, as you saw, anytime we have no mana, we're not firing, so we get sorcery. We watch that +52, rocket to +68 a second. That is wonderful. We can keep buying mana banks, mana siphons, but that was a huge jump. 2,000 gold, it's not that much. It is enough for another particle cannon, which I'm going to get. It's probably a little bit early. I don't think I need it yet, but the earlier you get them, the sooner they start leveling up. A +3, I'm going to put you down for a second. Just remember, you can put it down and sell it. Look, I have 2,272. I demolish it. I still have 2,272. I've not lost anything. There's no reason for me to not do that. If you want to see where it will reach, put it down, have a look. If you're happy with it, great. If you're not, sell it. I'm actually pretty happy with that. It's covering a lot. It's not going to cover down here, but as soon as anything gets past, it'll be good. You can start firing up there if needed. I'm okay with that. The only time you shouldn't sell things really is when they've leveled up. Because these guys, I sell and I rebuild, it's level 1, and I've lost a lot of experience. And because I got the crit item, the crit bonus, level 9 is huge. It's added an extra 9% crit chance for this one tower. And everything which we already have is you know, level 9, level 4, level 5, 4, 5, 7. Yeah. We have some level 9s, that's what we want to focus on. We have 22 gold, so we're obviously not going to buy anything else, and we're about to hit the next wave, which will just keep on expanding out here. Little robot man, keep an eye, have a look round. Maybe get some more shredders, because that's not a lot going through. And you know what, we really want a lot more damage over time. Flamers and poison. I'm going to keep an eye as well. This is continually firing. And actually, our mana's not doing too bad. It is going down, but it's not doing anywhere near as bad. What you'll see though is things are starting to make progress, which is where we start getting a little bit concerned. Level 34. Level 35 is a big one as well. So we're going to get a little bit concerned here that these things are making progress. We're killing them before anything up here reaches, which is what's really important. But things are making progress here. These big robot guys are they're upsetting. They're dying. And they're dead long before anything else reaches us, which is good. But this is a bit of a worry, so we are going to throw down a load more flamers, a load more poison sprays. We're going to make sure nothing gets through here. Ideally, this is where we're going to possibly start getting some frost keeps and Tesla coils, just to really slow things down in this horrible death zone. With the obelisk as well, slow in the obelisk's fire. Wonderful. It'll be an issue. Look at these guys. Never in a million years are they making it to the base. And at this stage, actually, I think now is probably the time to expand one of these. I'm going to risk it now. I'm going to expand down here. Everything up here is so long before it reaches us. We're good. It is when there's only one gap between these two lanes. With everything here focusing on here, these are both going to reach and it's going to start causing issues. Let's have a look. Maybe, like we said before, we want the continuous bleed, poison and burn. Blisters, we have burn. We don't have any bleed or poison yet, so maybe that is a good option here. We aren't going to get that. The mortar tower, we've not really got it throughout the entire thing, so we're not going to now. Damage to shields is very good. But actually, poisoned enemies take 1 extra shield damage from all attacks. So that is effectively this. Because we're going to have everything always poisoned, all of our blisters are going to be doing +1 damage to shields anyway. As well as the particle cannon, the flamer, the shredder. So this is better. We may get that. The other option though is bleed damage. Every single one of these guys continually doing additional bleed damage is pretty great. Especially if we get the opportunity to have the crits. You do additional crit chance, crit damage against things that you're bleeding. Let's get that. Right. Now these guys made progress, which worried me a little bit. So I'm going to expand down there, but before that I have a boatload of money. So I'm going to set things on fire. Lacking options, these bloody little graves and my shredders getting in the way. Let's put you there. It's an okay spot. A poison spray, let's put you up here. No, that's an awful place. Let's put you back down here as well. It covers a bit. No reason to not put you on the corner. There we go. We're good. Things down here are going to be taking some damage. I'm not too worried, I think, at the moment. Let's just really focus on this little kind of crazy initial run. A little bit more money. We're pretty good for particle cannons and things for now. I think we're okay. Nothing up there is currently a threat, but level 35 is a big one, as we'll soon see. What we're going to do is ballistas. Let's be honest, if we're ever unsure, we chuck ballistas down. Genuinely, it's not a bad option. The amount of additional damage ballistas do, they now do bleed damage as well as burning damage. Bleed and burn and slow. Great crits. Ballistas are good. Slowing things down is tight. Tight. Goodish range, good enough range. In fact, what we can do is if we demolish him and put him here. He still doesn't reach there. Well, that's fine. Whatever, it's fine. 1,700. Let's chuck down. Up here is where I'm actually more worried because the big guys. The big guys. We could lose to a normal wave, but generally when you're losing at this stage, you're losing because something big has run and maybe you're about to kill it, but then it fires little guys. Either it's firing missiles or it's chuck out with little impy goblin things, and then they just sprint and they surprise you. Which we don't want, so we want to keep everything on fire, poisoned and bleeding. You know what? A shredder is a wonderful option now because we've not got much up there for shredding. We do have blisters which do bleed damage, of course, but let's go for that. And let's expand down here. It didn't split out. That's wonderful. I'm done down here. I'm not going to expand any more down here unless I have to. I will be building a lot more stuff, obviously, but yeah, I'm only going to be expanding probably over here just to really kind of space it out more. We check the mana because our obelisk is going crazy. Let's have a quick zoom in and just see and make sure everything's okay. We're looking good. Nothing's really making it too much past here. Also, if you're curious, this is level 35. This is why we were a bit worried in the long run. They'll come from the longest route, so keep expanding one lane as far as you can, and that's where the big bosses will come through, which is good. It's handy because everything else should be dead long before it reaches you. As we'll see, everything down here is dead. These guys are finally making it round. They're all dead. It's big old Robo Oogie. He has shield, he has armor, he has health. What we want to see is we want to see him always poisoned and always on fire. And if he's not, this is a good chance to kind of keep an eye on this. He's poisoned and he's on fire right now. Those numbers are going up, which is good. Let's keep an eye on him. Ideally he'd be bleeding as well. Quickly check down here. No threats. We're all good. So we're going to keep an eye. If these numbers ever reach 0, then we're going to plug that gap with another flamer or another poison sprayer. He's now taking some bleed damage. Not sure, probably one shredder made his way to him. But clearly the fire and the bleed... No, I think it was a ballista. The fire and the bleed is lower, so that's what we're going to work on. Why he got so much more poison damage? I guess we have 2 up here. We have 2 and only 1 flamer, so that's why. But these numbers are going to rack up now. The shield is gone. See, this is what I'm talking about. They can dart, and I've killed the final boss at level 45 and still lost because at the last second he spewed out his horrible, vile little brainy vermin, and they actually took out my tower. I was not happy, and it will not happen again, let me tell you. But a load of fire, a load of poison, a load of bleed. Beautiful. This is what we're going to continue with. Clearly those numbers are still going up, so we're actually in a good place. I don't think we need to worry too much. Poisons, yeah, no, we're fine. Still a high number. Nothing here to worry. Oh, voila, that's level 35 done. This is a long run from 30 to 45. Things take longer, but you probably expected that. Vile consumption, maybe. Like we saw, we try and keep things continuously poisoned, so that's good. More damage to health, never bad. Haunted house, crap. White phosphorus, crap. Radar, not gonna. Tower, not gonna. So we have 2 choices here, really. Plus 3 damage to health is actually pretty good. Now, this is every single ballista currently does. Let's have a little think. It's currently doing plus 4 health damage. So let's just take an example. You have a health multiplier of 18. We're going to pick that, whichever one it was. Probably this one is now 21 because it's now a plus 7 damage to health. Every single ballista has just done a load more damage to health. We got some treasure because we killed the boss, so we take the treasure. Shields, fortification, crap. It's 1 or 2. More bleed damage or more damage to shields. They're both good. I'm probably going to go for damage to shields, to be honest. So just because, again, we have so many... no, change my mind. We do have so many blisters. It's a good one. It's not bad. We don't prioritize it. We never do. We'll try and get the health and the armor first. But if we're left with things like that versus fortification, get the shield. In this choice, so actually we're going to go bleed because shredders, they do bleed damage and we want that number to ramp up. And I'm probably going to drop a few more shredders around. We've got another option. Particle cannons dealing plus 1 damage to shields is good. Is it as good as you'd think? Obviously, they're here to do damage to shields, so that's great. But I have 4, maybe 5 of them. Whereas if I got plus 1 damage to shields on these guys, I have, like, I'm not going to say 100. I don't have 100. I have a few, to be honest, but that's it. Also, this guy is pretty much the same. Everything's going to be poisoned. So my particle cannons are going to do plus 1 damage to shield, as is everything else. So this is obviously the one you want. Ah, we got another. Could be. Not going to be. Probably not going to be. Therefore, fumes. Poison sprayers gain plus 1 damage to shields. There we go. Simple choices, correct choices, and if you disagree, bugger off, you're wrong. No, you know what? Put it down in the comments. I'm learning just as much as everyone else is here. It's still a relatively new game, and it's continually being updated. So genuinely, chuck it down. Let me know what you'd be doing differently and why. Maybe you're getting universities. Maybe you love the mortar tower. I don't really know. You do you, but let me know why you do you, so I can possibly do you too. Yeah, that's weird. I'm sticking with it though. Nothing's getting past there. Let's keep the poison going. Poison train, what's your range? You get the poison in early. You're going to get some up there. No, don't like that. I'd rather just put you down in one of the corners. Make sure everything's always, that's a bit of a gap. We should be right though. +3. Good poison range. Yeah, and we'll expand that out there. So it'll focus on this, and then eventually this will come through. Cool, cool, cool. No. Change my mind. Chuck it down here. And I'm going to leave this free on the off chance I do still get a frost keep. To slow things down. Loads of gold. So let's dot the gaps with ballistas. Remember, ballistas now do fire damage, burn damage, and poison damage. Not poison damage yet, sorry, but they do bleed and they do burn damage. So we'll actually start adding the ticks for the bleed and the poison nice and early, which is good. So we'll do that. We'll pop them here. The areas where they'll definitely be going past. There we go. And then we'll expand. Level 36. Smashing our way through. We're not too far away from level 45. And the full-on end game. This is where we can, you can lose at any moment now. A lot of high-level things. These little monsters are horrible with a lot of shields. We have the robots with a lot of armor somewhere around. There we go, a couple up there. But everything's so nice and spread. Like, these guys up here aren't going to get anywhere near our towers until everything down here is already dead, which is wonderful. Keep an eye on the mana, because this guy's going to ramp up and really cost us a lot of mana. But it does so much damage, it's kind of worth it. We may get a couple. We may get some more. Have a quick look at our particle cannons. We have 4. We have 5. 5's actually pretty good. Just making sure they are hitting my shield, yep. So we're probably okay there. Keep a little look round. Easy. Easy. Come on. I've been a little bit fortunate with my lanes, I'm not going to lie. I've had a couple of... You can make the exact same decisions and lose by now. If right near the beginning, in 2 or 3, it's split. It can really cause you issues and it splits again, that can happen. At which point you've got to put your hands up, quit, try it again. Do your best, see what happens, probably lose and try again. That's all you can do really. So the only option you got. I will continue to be radioactive. That's fine. Everything's dead. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. We see some good options here. Oh, we see 2 really good options here. Is it this? Is it bollocks? That's crap. This is we're not going to get. This is a trap. Kind of contradictory. Let's not get that. It is okay. We're not going to get that. Really, it's 2. Eviscerate, because everything is bleeding. Therefore, attacks will all have a +5% crit chance. That's fine. Frostkeep Tower is what we're going to go for. You can go the whole game without them. It's fine. Don't get them too early. I've fallen for that trap too. It's great fun slowing things down, but would you rather slow them down really early on before you've got anything and they're just slow? Or would you wait till later on when you have all of these towers shooting them? Then you slow them down. If you get them really early on, you get all the upgrades for them, but is it worth it? No, because it means you're not getting the other things you need. You need to be upgrading your ballistas, your flamers, your shredders, poisons. That's what you need to upgrade early on. And then once they get that, look how cheap they are. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Because they're new. They're a different tower we've not built any of. We got a Frostkeep there. We got a Frostkeep here. We're going to put a Frostkeep here. No, we're going to put a Frostkeep here. And here. Because I really want to put a Tesla coil up on here, basically. That's the kind of the goal here, really. Maybe another Frostkeep here, just this whole area is slow. Not a bad shout. In fact, no, let's put it here. Does that quite cover that range up there? It's very hard to tell. Let's pretend it does. Yeah, why not? Let's pretend. Let's be... No, that is higher. We'll have to go there. And that'll do for now. No, I am going to get a little bit cautious because these guys can also be a little bit mana hungry, and if they're continually pumping out, slowing things down, then they're going to be continually using mana. So I may need to go heavy on more mana banks, which I don't really want to do. Just quickly checking my recent expands. There's no additional mana spots, so can't do that. Just have to go for more mana banks. But this is what we were really waiting for here. These little frosty chilly towers. One last one here. Everything in our little kill zone is now going to release slowly, which means more time being killed. That's how kill zones work. I'm going to get a couple of mana banks early before things start firing, so they can, here you go, little +3 mana bank. You're welcome. King bank. And let's make a little road. Beautiful. And that really is just so to kind of get the mana ramp up early before everything starts firing, especially before this guy starts firing. Just so we can get a nice kind of bit of a buffer. Keep an eye out. Still got a bit of money left. So let us get another shredder to keep the bleed going. Where do we want you? Let's just chuck you there. +1. Covers a good area. Get the bleed going. There's a lot of bleed, to be fair, around here already, but let's ramp it up higher. We're going to expand up here. We're out of money, so let's do it. Still not a single little portal. This is our long reign. Keep an eye. The mana, see, before anything hit, it's ramped up. Everything's dying. Everything's going to start going slow. We do want to really level up these frost towers now we've got them. Or see them level up, because we want them to really do the business. That's what they got. That's what they're here for. They're here to slow things crap down. Things are making progress here. As you can see, there's a lot of progress here. Level 37. We're going to get another poison sprayer here. Some more ballistas just to be safe. We'll make it through this round. I think we got too many warriors, but you'll see that was a little bit more progress than every other round, including the round with the boss. The boss spawns so far away that actually it didn't have a chance of getting here. So we're going to start really being a little bit concerned here, and I'm going to start building a little bit more along this area. This is huge. This will focus on going up and around, everything up there, and then back on itself. But everything coming from down here only gets this one side of this Death Valley, whatever you want to call it, Death Mountain. So we're going to start building up here. It'll impact these guys as well as everything from up here, because it's just got more to go past. And things are lovely and slow down here. Everything's easy. Our mana's fine. We're good. We don't need to worry about that for a while. We're at a good state. Plus 79 mana a second. That's high. But it should be enough for the game. Unless I chuck down another obelisk or two, in which case the mana's going to start plummeting again. Look at you. Come on, just die. Fire the missiles. Fire them all you want. You're so far away from my base. You're not a threat. Cool. Magnetic blades. Not going to. Radar, no freezing bolts is pretty good. This is where things can start slowing down even more. Damage to shields, not so worried about. Not so worried about that. I think it's probably this. We have so many blisters, and each of them having a 3% chance to freeze things solid, which means they just stop for a period, is a good option. We'll go for that. And as we saw, they did make some progress along here. That was a little bit upsetting, so we get a few more items, specifically probably some more poison sprays. Maybe another particle cannon is what we were after. Maybe not. Let's get you though, and a couple of blisters on these +1s. There's a +3 there that I like. I may save that for another particle cannon. But I haven't got the money for anything else, because everything is now horrendously expensive. We expand, and we finally hit a wall. Finally, level 38, and we found our first wall. I'm going to keep an eye back down here just to see everything which is, again, higher shield and in progress. Let's keep an eye down here to make sure nothing... It's all from here, and everything kind of piling from down here. That does make some progress. But we don't like it. We don't want to see it. So we'll... let's get a flamer up on here. It's a little +2. Cheeky. Feeling good. I'm going to get maybe another shredder, actually. I see things that are... Well, no, everything is beaten, to be honest, but it's a good area of effect. Kind of impact, good damage. You've not quite got the range there, actually. So let's just chuck you down here. Our mana has plummeted. It's the obelisk. It's all of the poison, the flame, everything building up. When the obelisk isn't fire, should start to get some headway gradually, yeah. But mana banks are an issue. If we don't have mana, then we're not firing. 90 a second. Now 90 a second. I feel like it's got to be enough. Everything up here. Yeah. Like I said before, there's a big jump at 40, so we're going to be a little bit cautious about that jump. I might expand out here again and really hope for not getting a split. Everything up there, nothing's been a threat. It really is early game. Quickly check our phone, which will not stop vibrating. We're all good. Let's have a look. No to tower. Radar. Nope. Maybe. I'm not going to look out. Ooh, probably. I'm not going to get a water. It's again, we have a look. Pyrochemistry. More burn damage is good. Bon. Poisoned enemies take an extra 1 shield damage from all attack. Very good. Attacks against bleeding enemies have a 5% chance to crit. That is across the board. And everything will be bleeding. If you think about it, not only are shredders, which always bleed, but also our ballistas at 25% bleed. Which means everything will be bleeding. Which means we want to get the eviscerate in. Level 38. We've got a little bit of money left, which we're going to quickly spend. Again, we're thinking we're pretty good now, so we're going to plug some gaps with some more ballistas. Look for the +1s. Again, they've got good range. Don't forget they do have good range now, because we made some smart decisions. Some smart decisions early on in our upgrades. They've got some good range on them. Maybe we'll get another frost keep, maybe, but our mana is always a concern, so keep an eye out. And in our most recent expand, you may have seen, we finally got a few more of these. I don't think that one will work. No. It will work down here and here, however. So just to be on the safe side, that's a lot of mana a second, but with the obelisk, we probably need it. We're feeling pretty good. Everything's... Our kind of crazy expander's finally matched out there, so we need to go somewhere else. It could be here. Probably will be. It could also be down here, but as long as I keep building down here, I think we'll be okay. And remember, the big final boss, he won't come from down here. You don't need to worry about that. He's not going to rock up in his shortest expand. He's always going to come from the furthest part, which is very kind of him. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty generous. He'll appreciate that. So let's just move over here and expand you out. Oh, that's as far as you're expanding to. So we're going to start having to get some more interesting decisions on where we're going to expand. But we don't need to worry quite yet. We'll come back down here. We'll keep an eye. You see everything should be bleeding. Everything should be poisoned. Which is good. Everything's going to really go slow. Look how much they slow down. Because of the poison build-up, because of the frost keep, because of the slow of our ballistas. Maybe even getting frozen solid and stopped because of the ballistas. Constantly slowing down from all the way around there. Maybe we build one over here so it continually slows as well. Up here, there's a lot of poison. Our mana is okay, even with our obelisk firing, it's not bad. This is ground zero. Everything's dying. We've got loads of gold still, so let's get things in. Let's go for flamethrower. Flamethrower can go. Oh, let's just chuck a flamethrower here. And some more ballistas. That's a nice tall little bit of land there, so let's put a flamethrower up there. Not bad coverage. Everything up here we're not really that worried by. Things will regain. So like I said, things can, if they lose their health, their armor, they can start building it back up, which is what can really screw you in the late game. Unless they're continually taking damage. When they stop taking damage, they can start regenerating, which is why they should always be on fire, poisoned and bleeding. Just always. And if you ever see something that's not on fire or poisoned, plug that gap. Build a flamer, build a poison spray, build whatever you need to do. Plug the gap. Come on, slow down. There we go. Cool. We're not going to get a tower. We don't need it. Poison shouldn't be dealing with armor. We're not going to get it. We don't care about shields for our frost keep. There we go. That's what it's called. Maybe poison sprayers gaining poison damage. That's pretty good. Frost keeps deal 1 damage to armor. Don't care about flame throwers. Deal 1 damage to armor. You'd think we would have got this by now because it's actually really good. Flamethrowers are here to deal armor damage. But instead, I think I'm probably going to get this. More poison damage. We've got a lot of poison sprayers, so we can drastically increase the amount of poison damage they do. Yes, 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 yes. Well, this is good. Everything's going to really get out from there. We are going to have to really think now about where we're going to expand. Ground zero, so 1. I'm going to do this one more time. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Ideally, we should space those out more, but that I think will be fine. So far our highest is 5. If we go the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a big gap here. So we're going to expand the 7 out, so then we can expand the 6 as well. Let's expand the 7 out. And we have a tower, little portal. We could now start getting portals across the board. We'll see. We just want to really make sure that things are spaced out as much as possible. This are things with a lot of shield and a lot of armor, and that hurts. Things are getting pretty obliterated though. Maybe some more particle cannons could be in order. When you build a particle cannon, you make the particle cannon target the shields. Okay. This was kind of the big area at the beginning. Maybe we'll have to expand it out, but because they go straight into this death zone, it gets killed immediately before anything else reaches, is the goal. And you can see this is ramping up. Level 40 is a big jump, so actually we're going to really try and make sure we're using the gold, because there's a lot coming through. Target the pluses. I know we're quite far away, but remember these guys have got some good range, so it's not such a bad idea. Our mana is running out as well, so we drop some more mana siphons on the 0. No. No, we don't. We drop mana banks because we haven't got anywhere. But mana siphons, we actually do. We plunk some around there. Now that we expanded, we've unlocked those, which is great. And we put some more mana banks down. Let's close that gap. 106 mana a second, and we're still struggling with the mana. It is phenomenal what we need. Let's keep it going though. Maybe we'll get some more shredders because they don't cost mana. They do cost a hefty amount of gold, so I would speed it up if I could, but I can't, so I will wait. Everything back here, I mean these guys, they'll take a while to reach me. It is this fast. As soon as you click the button, everything hammers down, your mana runs out, and yeah, you could lose. But we're at level 40 already, and at this point I think with the decisions we made, if you had a bit of luck, you can beat level 45. If you can beat level 40 at that stage, you can beat level 45. If you're a little bit lucky, maybe you get unlucky and you won't. I'm feeling we're in a pretty good space right now. Nothing over there is an issue. We have a quick look. Damage to shields. More bleed damage. We've already got some bleed damage, so we could get more, but we'd rather poison. So our blisters do all 3. We're not going to get fortification. We may get this. We're not going to get this. And we may get this. Poisoned enemies take extra shield damage from all attacks. Everything is going to be very poisoned. So I'm thinking we're going to go for this one. I'm thinking that that is a good choice. And again, if you disagree, let me know. Let me know why. Gold, we've not got too much. Some frost keeps. We can kind of have a little look. Maybe we want to level them up more, just to kind of really. It's not too cost effective to actually level things up, to be honest. However, when everything else is so bloody expensive in the late game, maybe we will a little bit. Just a touch. And if you're curious, these guys, you know, I built 2 ballistas here at the beginning. I lucked out because of the range and because this curled back, so they've always been leveling up, level 11, level 10, so they have had use. But even if they didn't, those guys, 1,562 gold they've got me. That is not only they dealing damage, but that's not far off actually paying for, well, definitely paying for themselves, but paying for everything else. 1,600, 2,300. And it's going to keep going up. We'll have a wee look. We could expand here. Maybe this is where we want to expand. These have great range and they can start shooting it straight away. That's a 1 though, and this is a 3. And that's a 5. I think we'll expand this one out. I think that's probably the best bet. Yeah, everything's going to now block out, so that's actually good, so we don't need to worry about it kind of splitting out further. This will just get some additional shots in early on. Killing this kind of first wave of this group down here is probably what's key, because everything from way up there takes so long to reach us, we don't need to worry. Until level 45, and then we need to worry. But we're not there yet. Make sure everything's dying. We may still keep an eye out for a Tesla coil. It's not turned up, and that's what I've been saving this. I've got a little +3, 2 +3s in some of the prime location, prime real estate. I've not put anything on it because we're after that Tesla coil. If we don't get anything soon, I'll just put something down and level the crap out of it up. Our miner's not so bad, even with everything firing. It is going down. We'll keep an eye on it, but I think we're going to be okay. These guys are making some real progress, though. Some guys are really making some good dashes for it, which I don't like. I might keep some slows over here. There'll be things that kind of that fire missiles, which is always the worry. That you poison something, it's bleeding, it's on fire, it gets through to here, it's nearly there, but then it fires out missiles. And those missiles aren't poisoned, they're not on fire and they're not bleeding, and they will run rapidly, take out your tower. So that's why we need to really make sure we're still going to continue doing damage the whole way around. Which is where we'll actually add some poison here, here, and maybe one fire, one more fire. We've got a couple of fires here already, to be fair, so poison is probably more important here. And then ballistas. They do not cost mana. Our mana has been going down continually. It did briefly hit rock bottom. Look at these guys. Come on. Come on, guys. You can fire missiles all you want. You're so far away from my base, I'm not worried. It's only when they start firing around here we can get a little bit worried. A little bit panicky. Maybe we'll put an obelisk right near the end as well. Just anything that makes it that far. Shoot him down. We'll wait for the end of the turn and see what options we get with our cards, our level ups, our upgrades. These guys are still firing. Their range, the distance this guy can reach is phenomenal. Against these peculiar little mini portals. Ah, little mini portals that are bobbling along now. They're on fire, they're bleeding, and they're poisoned, so they're not going to be regaining any armor, health, or anything like that, which I believe these ones can. So just make sure that they're still bleeding, poisoned, on fire, and I think we'll be okay. They are going to keep on spewing out little guys, which is what's upsetting. Oh, and they have so much health. This is where we need the option to speed up the game. But for now, we'll keep an eye. Things coming from here I think are not a worry. If they come from down here, they are a little bit more of a worry. I'm going to expand out here, I think. We're going to have a little look. There's no Tesla coil. Maybe, probably not. Burn damage. We want the poison. Maybe. University, we're already level 41, so it's too late now, really. Maybe shredders. Definitely not haunted house. Bleed and dry increase. Here we go. Increase the maximum bleed damage per second by 30. That is good. Things will always be bleeding, so you want to increase the amount of damage that does per second. Like I said before, if there's a mob with 1,000 bleed damage on it versus 10,000 bleed damage on it, the damage per second is the exact same. It's still the same. It just takes longer for it to get through the 10,000 damage. So you want to increase the amount of damage it does per second. That is important. Let us get some more ballista towers. Start firing early because I'm worried about you. Yeah, no, that's actually fine. I could probably put it in a better place, but that's fine for now. Frost Keep is possible. The mana is going to be expensive, but I just want to make sure things don't make some stupid runs for it, and I'm going to level you up myself. Because you're probably not going to... Hopefully you won't be leveling up, in theory. Because if this guy's leveling up, it means something's getting close to hitting our tower. And that'd be very upsetting. So let's just put a couple more guys down on the +1s. Let's expand you out, I think. I hope we get a little... Yeah, a little guy. pop these guys down because we were lucky with that. Can't really tell if that's going to work or not. In fact, did we get any here? Yes, we did. Minus items are cheap, so we can get those without too much of a worry. Keep an eye out. This is level 42. There's a lot coming through. We're going to get a flamer here. We're going to really ramp up that damage, and then we're just going to get a load more ballistas. Everywhere you can, any spot, as soon as you have the gold, chuck a ballista down. Target the high grounds in good spots like there. Ballistas are getting expensive, damn. Mana hurts, but we're actually not doing bad. Oh, we are 114. We've built an expensive mana inefficient map. I think the amount of poison, fire, everything we've got going all over the place, it is constant. It's a lot. But you see, nothing's making it past here now. Okay, there. Anything? Any advances? I don't think so. So feeling good. This is our key death area. You'll notice as well, because each ballista's got a 3% chance to freeze them. You just build hundreds of ballistas, and then things will get frozen. Damn right, they will get frozen. One there, one there. Again, this is covering both this way and back. And you know what? These guys have got such good range; they're actually covering up in this lane here too. Boom! Love that. Am I finally going to put something on my +3? I've been saving that for a real special occasion, and it's just not turned up. You think these guys have lots of health, but I mean, they've not even come close to the death zone yet. And I'm so confident, and I have another lost submarine. Check my phone. Nothing interesting going on in the world. Well, that's a lie. There's a lot going on in the world. And a lot of it's very depressing right now, which we're not going to get into because we're here to kill zombies, robots, demons from another world, undead things, by firing little bow and arrows at them, and lasers, and fire, and smog going under the ground. Oh, now it's above the ground. There we go. Everything's all poisoned. Everything's on fire. The bleed gets close to running out, and it doesn't. I remain overwhelmingly radioactive. The sun has gone down outside because it's England. It's cold, dark, and miserable. The sun has gone down, and therefore my white balance I've not set up properly. We don't need to worry though. There's still no Tesla coil. Looks like we're going to have an entire run with that one. We're not going to get fortification. We may get fumes. Shields are going to continually get worse. Haunted house, no, not. Bleeding enemies take additional health damage from all attacks. It could be good because everything's going to be bleeding. Flamethrower and armor, I still can't believe we haven't got it. And particle cannons and shields. I think actually poison sprays and shields. We have so many poison sprays. Getting them to the additional shield damage is not a bad thing. Look at these guys. Bloody hundreds of them. Absolutely hundreds. Cool. 2,000 gold. I'm going to get more, just 2 more ballistas, which is bonkers. I could almost get 2 more obelisks. My mana would just be no more, but technically we could. Or I could put something right on top of this guy. Let's put you on top of there anyway, because your range will be hefty, and it's going to continually be firing. And we can get 1 more. Well, I mean, why not at that point? Why? Bloody hell not, eh? Bloody heck. Cool. Level 42. We're getting close. This video is running on long and long and long. We're going to expand out. We're going to expand you. Close you off. No mana spots, unfortunately, so we can't get any more there. I don't think I can reach that one. Let's have a quick little look. I think that's like a +1, which... it does work. That's also a +1. Perfect. It's 100 gold. Buy the mana summon. At this point in the game, 100 gold is nothing. When a ballista costs 1,110, 100 gold for a mana siphon is fine. Keep an eye out because each level does have a big jump still. I'll make it a shredder. Any decent places for a shredder? Any pluses anywhere? Oh, that's not great. Just put one down. You know what? I'm putting you there. and I'm leveling you the hell up. You're even going to do a bit of that, a bit of that. Finally, I've put something down on my +3. It's not what I wanted to go there, but it is something. Guys are making progress. You reached here this time. You're making some progress. Got to be a little bit careful, and we're also low on mana again. No little mana spots. Yes, where we've just expanded, we have mana spots, so we get those. Come back down. Things coming this way. 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So there's actually not too much of a gap here, so I may expand that out. But I've got to be careful it doesn't reach the same lengths as these. I think we're okay. It'll be a close one. It's going to be close. Right now, nothing's making it through. We're all good. I mean, it's just a beautiful array of blue, orange. Nice little bit of snow coming down. Yeah, I think we're good. Nothing else? We're good? We're good? Gonna sit here for a while as these guys slowly die. Recline back. Try not to lose my headphones. Wait forever. Forever and ever. As everything slowly dies. $9,500 gold is a hefty amount of gold. With that we can buy a lot of stuff. I'm going to buy some mana banks just because we know that next round we're going to really run out of gold, so let's put you down there. Run out of mana. 135 mana a second with a total cap of 1,000. Oh, right. No. Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. No. Probably not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Right, so we are starting to scrape the dregs here, and it could be shredders or it could be ballistas, and purely because of the overwhelming amount of ballistas we have, it will be ballistas. 5,000 gold left, which means I'm thinking either a particle cannon or more ballistas, maybe even another frost keep. Let's keep things slow in case things make it all the way around. Pop you there. What's your range? Your range is, your range is bad. At that point, it's too late. Let's do it. Pop you down. Have no more gold. Figure out where we expand to next. Big bear. We're running out of options. It may have to be down here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's not a big gap, but then even if I expand here, the gap between here and here isn't great either. Which isn't ideal. I'm going to do it. It's not ideal. We've got a little mana stone here, so we're going to quickly surround that because it's cheap and mana is an issue. But you know, these guys are firing off, so it's okay. And oh, the gold these guys have got me. I definitely should have surrounded these with more. It's probably a little bit late now, but at the same time we're going to do it. Just so we can say we surrounded all the houses with blisters, every single house. Going to keep an eye, just to make sure nothing gets too cocky and close. Guys up here are really starting to hoard up close, which is not great. These guys, you'll see they're making some good progress, and you know what? These guys are not all poisoned, so this is something we need to actually deal with down here. We need to start the poison off much sooner, so we can start dealing with, they're on fire, but they're not poisoned. So that is an issue. So we need to deal with poison sooner to kind of really get those ticks off early. Maybe one more poison spray up here in the +2. Because you'll see it's the guys with, it's the shields and the armor. But if you're going to die, I can almost guarantee you'll die with something that has shield. Don't know what it is, but it is usually those guys that sneak past you. So we just want to be a little bit careful. Wait forever up here. But hey, this is level 44. And you know what comes after 44? Most likely losing the game. But we're in a pretty good place. As good a place as really as we can expect to be. We could have got some mortars earlier on. We could have maybe gone for a university to get lucky and possibly level up a load of stuff. Who knows? But I think we made some good choices throughout. We focused on what we needed to focus on at each stage, and we picked the cards that were dealt. Got a good amount of gold building up. We're going to get maybe another poison sprayer. Just everything up here has been poisoned, so I think we're okay. I could drop one here, just to make sure everything from there is getting poisoned. It is a bit of a loss for everything afterwards, but it will hit things going past there, so it's not the end of the world. We have to wait forever now for these guys to come around because they're slow as F. In the meantime, we'll chuck down a couple more ballistas. If nothing else, level 44 and 45, you can really just sit back and relax. Well, you bloody well can't on level 45, let me tell you. Here, though, we can. Alright. We are going to go this entire run without a Tesla coil. Not in the world. More burn. Here we go. Ooh, I think we found what we want. Not going to get the encampment. Nope, it's a waste. This is pretty good. That's a trap. Never get the haunted house. It is a huge mana sink. Poison and bolts. And the reason for this, our ballistas now do poison damage, burn damage, and bleed damage. They're not huge amounts of damage, but they will add up and they will stop things from healing, basically. Stop things from regenerating because they're always going to be taking that tick damage. That is good. We have no more gold, so we don't really have too many things to think about. We don't have really anywhere to expand apart from here. So every decision we have has just been taken out of our hands. We're going to hit level 45. This is where men are made. This is where we could lose. We're just going to keep an eye down here first of all to see if we get past everything. And then we'll have a look over here and see what will most likely beat us. We can hope we get past it down here. We're going to be building ballistas at all opportunities we can. If you have the gold, build a ballista, and we're going to keep an eye. And what we want to do, assuming we've made it past everything down here, which we should do, we just need to make sure Big Brain Oogie dies. He is the boss and he will kill you, obviously. So what we'll do is once he's past here and everything else is past here, we'll sell these. It could seem cheap, it could seem like a bit of a cheap tactic. Build more ballistas. But frankly, I don't care. Once it passes this and there's nothing else there, then it will no longer be useful. It doesn't do anything anymore, and we can sell it for 2,175. We can sell all of them, and we can start rebuilding things down here where we need them. We're keeping an eye down here, and everything from down here is pretty much good. This guy, for example, is actually now completely worthless. Nothing else is going to go past him, so I'm going to sell him. You do technically have some use. You nearly don't, and you know what? I'm going to sell you too. Big Brain Oogie is making his way up slowly, really slowly, but he's going to be making his way up. Everything down there was fine, so we're going to put down some poison sprayers. Our mana's okay. We've put a lot of poison down to them. We need to keep an eye, make sure he's always poisoned on fire. He's not currently bleeding, which isn't great. But these guys, anything else around here, you guys are nearly completely pointless. Nearly. Soon they will be. Cool. Alright. What's now worthless? We're going to slowly work our way around. Everything out there technically still has a use. You are, as far as I'm concerned, worthless. As are you. As are you. And you're technically not, but you may as well be. This Big Brain Oogie is the only real issue we need to worry about now. So we continually build in front of him where he's going to go. We just need to make sure that he dies. And you can see it's going to be hard to kill him. Really, really, really bloody hard to kill him. These guys, again, we don't need to worry too much about them. So I'm going to sell them. We want to keep them frozen, obviously, as well. So again, ballistas, because each of them has a 3% chance. So the more of them we have, the more chance we have to continually to freeze them. These guys, I mean, they're shooting those, but you know what? Sell them. And let's... He's on fire, he's poisoned, he's bleeding. Build them down there. Anything else? These guys, you are now doing nothing. You're sold, you're gone. And again, if you think this is cheating, maybe you're right, I don't care. I'm still going to do it. And we build these guys here. And we build where he's going to go. And we do not stop building them. And because of the freeze, yes, look at this glory. Should we sell some more? This guy, worthless. You, worthless. Build more ballistas. Ballistas are getting expensive now. Still going to do it. Even our obliterator is having his just going to go to town on this guy. Obliterator, do health damage. That was expensive, but he's going to do a good amount of continuous health damage now against Big Brain Oogie. These little guys will still fire out, which can kill you. Like I said, I've killed him and I've lost to everything he fires out, which is upsetting, let me tell you. This, useless now. You guys, useless. Sell them all, and we win. And this is how you beat level 45. You do a little bit of cheese at the end by selling things that are no longer required. If anything, we're doing a service. We're cleaning up the countryside, restoring our green fields, and making sure we kill Big Brain Oogie. That is victory. That is level 45 of Rogue Tower done. That's how you do it from level 1 right through to level 45. It was a bit of a a bit of a slog. It took a while to get there, but hopefully that really helped. Just remember the couple of things. Early game, ballistas, flamethrowers. Then as you go, make sure you build around houses, make sure you have a big death area, make sure you stagger each lane so you're not having everything converging at the same time. After level 15, go heavy on damage against shields, so poison, eventually particle cannons, fizzy drinks, and yeah, continue with that. Any opportunity to get gold, take, no matter where you are in the game. Gold is key. Not a single thing hit my turret, so the additional damage you take when things hit your turret is completely pointless. And that's pretty much it. That is how to get to level 45 and win and kill Big Brain Oogie. I wish I could pick up his treasure just to kind of get some additional upgrades, but they would be worthless because I've just won the game. There's nothing else there. And yeah, there was no need for any cheese. We didn't need the university. You don't need the encampment, the radar, the lookout tower, all these things. These really are the key. The flame, the shredder, the poison. And you get some additional boom from particle cannons and obelisks. Frostkeeps are nice towards the end in your death zone just to really spend as much time in there as possible. And mana will be an issue. No matter how safe you think, out of nowhere you'll need to chuck down a load of mana stuff. Any source, put siphons down. And if you need it, put the mana banks down. Yeah, and then you've won. It's that simple. There's only single lane. Obviously there's dual lane, there's triple lane. There's a whole other world. But for now, that is how you beat from level 1 to 45. You do what I've done, and you get a little bit of luck with the lanes, because they can still screw you over. But you get a little bit of luck. You can beat it. It's good fun. Appreciate you watching. If you learned something, if you appreciated just the effort I've gone through in taking down Big Brain Oogie, my rapid sell-off, the fact that I had this perfect little spot, this little +3, the entire game, pretty much, waiting for the Tesla coil, which never turned up. Give the video a like. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe. We're going to continually pump out some videos and really start ramping up the rate as well. So, hope you appreciated this. Talk to you guys again soon. Goodbye. Ciao.